Many times my mother, who still worked a full-time job early on, and then she actually stopped working, I think, when I was in middle school to do ministry full-time. But there was always a need that needed to be met. And I want to talk about a need. My mother was focused on how do we meet the needs of people wherever they're at. And I'm talking about with rent, with mortgage, with food. And so over the years, when I got involved, my background from a professional standpoint, I actually am a engineer by education. I am passionate about processes, so I became an industrial engineer. My last year of school, I broke my mother's heart, left Morgan State University, got recruited to Disney Interactive to be their chief game developer, designed video games for Monday Night Football, Indy Racing, got identified as 30 under 30 for the city of Baltimore as far as entrepreneurship, started my first company, and fast forward, sold that company and did modeling and simulation for the Department of Defense, and then began to help companies, very large companies, do some really amazing things when it came to moving quickly and delivering for customers, and got to spend time at PayPal and Google and eBay, and also large banks, and I'm an advisor today to some of the largest organizations around the globe, some of the chief CIOs. And I love that. I actually love going into companies for a short time to help them drive speed through the organization. A billion-dollar company sometimes has old habits, and I get to help them deal with those both technically, from a technical standpoint, from an HR, legal, and from a operational standpoint. So it's something I love. But 10 years ago, I was introduced to the industry I'm going to share with you tonight in energy. And when I was introduced, it opened, I was shared a company, and that company had a program that really caught my eye, and it allowed people to get free electricity. And during that time, I was like, wow, that could be great in churches and organizations. We could help people get free electricity. And so I went on a mission to help people get free electricity in churches with that company. And we would do adopt a senior. And adopt a senior, you would go into a church and you would take a senior, and we would have to get like 20 customers so that senior could get free energy. And that business delivered a residual income for many years. And then 2 years ago, after leaving that and going back to my consulting business, 2 years ago, I was introduced to a company. But more than being introduced to the company, I was introduced to a federal program that was going to be rolled out to every state that blew my mind. And I said, any organization, any church, any nonprofit, there's a program that can help every single member, but also help the organization in a way that I've never seen. And so tonight I get to share that with you. I'm going to be brief. My mother always said she used to always say to me, remember to always deliver the bottom line up front. And so I'm not a pastor. It's just that I've been able to be in so many different parts of the church. I know the challenges we are faced with post-pandemic. I know the challenges that we see today, and no matter what denomination you are, no matter what religion you are, in order to impact the community takes resources. And I believe that the discussion today is going to be a powerful discussion of how we help organizations maintain an additional way of having resources come in that can also change the lives of every member. So thank you so much for being here. And so let's jump right in. The organization, the company I'm going to talk about is Think Energy, and their mission is very clear. It is to make clean energy simple, easy, and affordable for everyone. We are at a time right now where our government is fighting to get more and more people on renewable energy. How do we get more people connected to renewable resources? Because there's a demand in the energy space here in our country that we have to get ahead of. But the company has also done many things to make sure that they are doing everything they can to be a trusted customer support. That means that every customer that comes to our company, our goal is really simple. It is to make sure that they have high satisfaction, that their value is clear, and that they can enjoy the value we deliver them, which I'm going to share with you. This program that I pulled together, it's called Save and Serve. This is not, I did send, this is a company supported program, but it is, as an independent energy advisor, it is something that I did pull together because I wanted to show how I could truly help organizations. And here's what I saw. Um, the program I'm going to share with you that came out of the Inflation Reduction Act will be the largest savings for Americans that we have seen in 30 years. I have never seen anything like this. It has not happened before for us. But now what I'm gonna talk to you about is a way for each and every member of our church, each and every member of our organization to have a savings that is bigger than longer than we've seen before. So how I've laid this out is really simple. It is save. We help the members save. The members save between 5 and 25% on their energy bill for 20 years. Write that down. If you don't have a pen and paper, or if you have your phone, just create a little note, because I do want you to write down some points, because I want to be able to answer questions at the end. So members are able to save 5 to 25% on their energy bill for 20 years. When the member saves, the organization is then receives a donation from our company, or because that member signs up, the compensation from the company is because every customer that comes on would then benefit the organization, and they would get a check on for that. So when we think about who uses electricity and we think about our membership, every member in our congregation uses electricity. If they rent or they own a home or they rent an apartment, they all use electricity, and they will use it every single month, month after month after month. How many of those members want to reduce their electric supply costs or even eliminate it for free? The number one request in congregations around this country is for support with their energy bills. Number one request. And when I look at that, it is, I've watched my family pay for everything from electric bills to rents to the food for families. And one of the things that I realize is that this is one of the first times where we can have a major impact in our community. But I'm also very aware and very delicate with the fact that as a leader, for leaders that are in churches, you have to be very careful of what you allow into your front door. And I say that because I'll tell you, I watch my mother and my family members. Members have all kinds of things that they want to introduce to the congregation, but we have to be very careful. And I want you to know tonight, I come to you from the standpoint of I am very in tune with the concerns of pastors, the concerns of deacon boards, the concerns of financial leadership within organizations, because it only takes one time for something to go wrong that really dampens the reputation of a pastor or a leader in a church. And so I'm very sensitive to that as I talk to you today. So members save for 20 years, okay? The program, we're gonna talk about one of three programs. And the first one, the focus is we are providing a service that is a state and federal program that is gonna help each and every member. Now, why is this program right for your organization? I wrote this because I wanted to really dig into, the questions that you all would have. But what this program allows for is there's no more extra funding activities or requests from your members that you have to do. This program has the ability, the potential to be able to allow for ongoing funding by helping people save. And also it's money-free fundraising. I thought about that and I said, wow, we're able to fundraise all year long, money-free. And that's exciting, because when you think about fundraisers and nonprofits, I don't know, I think I just bought $100 worth of popcorn, of this very expensive popcorn that is pretty popular right now. I can't remember the name of it. It's something good, but I know I buy it every year. And so if it's an organization or a nonprofit and you're in fundraising, this is a way that we can do money-free fundraising by helping people. Number three, all members qualify and are protected. And I say the word, people say, what do you mean protected, Julius? Every person qualifies that uses electricity. If you have an electricity bill, you qualify and you're protected. What I mean is that there's nothing making those members or locking them into contracts. So situations where that could come back on the organization. Leaders are helping members and then helping the organization. What I know is that people want to give more to their church, to their nonprofit. We are allowing them to give more, but not giving more. You guys are like, what are you talking about? So what I'm going to share with you is that members are able to give by helping more people. The more people that a member helps, the organization receives more from Think Energy. And the organization sees the impact immediately. The organization actually began getting checks from Think Energy immediately. And then you can invite your community to join. I'm going to share with you what that looks like as well. And so I wanted to go over that, and I'll revisit these as I go through, but the program we're going to be talking about opens a door for fundraising that I don't think we've seen before. And so let's talk about how it works. So the first piece that we're going to talk about is called community solar. Okay. And I know some of you are saying, Julius, when you say the word solar, I know you're talking about solar panels. Well, we're talking about solar without solar panels. We're not, there's no solar panels on top of roofs, but this program is free to enroll. Number one, every member in your membership can enroll. The discount is 5 to 25% for 20 years. I want you to be really clear. It is a 5 to 25% discount for 20 years. Think Energy is a provider of this program. It is a state-sponsored program. And as we look right now, and this program is rolled out across the states, we're looking at over the last 18 months, it began, and there's nothing to buy or sell. We're not selling anything to our congregation and our members. There's no rooftop required. Somebody can live in a townhome, rent an apartment, rent a home, and they can get solar renewable energy to their home. And so, and even renters qualify. And so these are the benefits we're talking about. So think about your membership. And if you could offer each member of your congregation a 20-year savings on their energy, would that be of value in many ways? And one of the ways that I continue to think about is that if all of my members could save, it gives them the opportunity to give more by saving. With this program,
Your signs of continuation
out. Okay. All right, thank you. So with this program, we are excited because the program is something that we've not seen before, and we are so excited. The Inflation Reduction Act is what triggered the push for community solar across the country, but it's just beginning. So here are the states that are active today. You can see here the active states. Each state is currently going through legislation to roll out its own program, and we will be a provider for those as well. And then we have states that are coming up next. And this map, I'm so excited. We started rolling out our community solar markets in February of this year, and we are quickly seeing that this industry is growing, and we are going to be, this whole map will be active over the next 3 to 5 years. And so community solar has today about 500,000 people that have come onto the program, and there's over 5 million available slots for us to grow. So there's 5 million people. The Department of Energy released a report, and it said that it wanted to increase this and push its providers like us, the energy, to be able to do more, to touch more people's lives. So when you think about your members, your members will be able to qualify, and your members can sign up, and they would have a 20-year savings. One of the questions we get many times around community solar is people say, well, what does that mean for their bills and their rates? Well, this is not a rate program. This is a guaranteed savings program. They're going to save between 5 and 25%, depending on the markets they're in, for 20 years. Now, if you have members that are in low to moderate income communities, the low to moderate income community discount is higher. So in some markets, if it's 10% for people who are low to moderate income, it may be 25%. In Maryland, for example, it's 25% for those who are on low to moderate income. That means if anyone gets a state or federal benefit, like a cash benefit, like a food stamp card or Medicaid, or if they get free lunch for their kids in school, they qualify for a higher benefit, and community solar will not impact any of their other benefits. So I want you to write that down if you're taking notes. Number one, community solar. That's the very first offering that we have. Now, why is this happening now? Why are we having this conversation today? Well, there's a lot of reasons why. And the Inflation Reduction Act is looking at how do we in the United States bring more energy production inside the borders. And so when we look at that, there's a massive transition to renewable energy for many reasons. There's increased demand for electric vehicles. Every car manufacturer in the United States will have an electric car by the year 2030. And we have massive global instability. And with wars going on around the world, our ability to import oil and natural gas has become more and more limited, while our energy need goes up. And so this is something that is happening. It is happening across the country, and community solar is our effort in bringing more people on to renewable energy sources. And this is a huge benefit for your church or your organization. The second, number two value, right? So everybody put a number two, is going to be what we call retail energy. So for think of community solar as a program that we are actually providing and we're a provider for. But when we look at our retail energy solutions, what we're trying to do is make the cost of electricity predictable. Right now, we're seeing energy prices go up across the country, and we've seen them grow up over the last 3 years. And so old monopolies have been broken up. In many states, customers have the right to choose a supplier. They will have the same utility company, same billing company, and no disruption to their service. As a retail energy provider, we are in the following states in the Northeast. You can see that we offer 100% clean energy, competitive long-term fixed rates, no cancellation fee. We have a free energy club, which I'm going to share with you in a moment. And then we believe in protecting the environment. For every customer that we bring on, we protect 50 trees, and we've protected over 1 million trees so far. And so on our retail energy, as a retail energy provider, we are not replacing your utility company. What we're doing is creating a predictable fixed cost for your energy bill. The goal is to create a fixed cost so that customers can feel safe that they're not going to see up and down roller coaster prices on their bill. And your members are able to enjoy that from Think Energy. And so one of the things we do is every time one of your members comes on to Think Energy, we actually, if they're on a retail energy product, they will actually get a $100 gift card after they've been on for 6 months. And now our free energy club, which is a lot of fun. Our free energy club is really a referral-based program. When a customer refers 3 customers, they're going to get a 10% energy rebate that they'll be able to redeem for gift cards and cash Visa gift cards. Once they refer 10 customers, they'll get a 40% discount on their energy bill. And when they refer 20 customers, they get 100% free energy from Think Energy. And here's what it looks like. Someone who gets $138 every single month for referring customers. We're going to talk about that because with the program I'm sharing, we're going to talk about, as customers are referred, how your members will be able to save. They're going to be saving on community solar and on retail energy, but also what happens next is pretty exciting. So the last way that we help the member of your congregation, the customer, is they actually can get paid for changing their energy behavior. Now, they don't have to, because someone asked me the other day, they said, well, do they have to follow this? I said, no, they may not want to. If it's 90 degrees, they may not be okay turning their air conditioner up a degree or two. But one of the things that we do offer is that we actually want to pay our customers for changing behavior. So in our smart meter markets, we have an app, and that Think Smart app uses artificial intelligence. And for example, if there's high demand, it'll say, hey, if you change wash your clothes at this time, we're going to pay you 2.1 cents a kilowatt. Or we're going to, if you increase your thermostat 2 degrees, we'll pay you for that behavior. And then you can redeem that for cash or gift cards. And so that is an incredible proprietary technology we have that each one of your members would get. And so now that we've talked about the customer side of this, right? So we've talked about 3 things for the customer. And if you have questions, I want to encourage everybody to go ahead and put your questions in the chat. We will answer all of your questions. So let's recap. I believe let's take a quick recap. Well, number one, every member that in your congregation or your organization or your nonprofit can qualify for community solar in the states we're in. So that is a program that is offered by the state, and Think Energy is one of the largest suppliers in the country. That program allows them to save 5 to 25% for 20 years. There's no rooftop required. Even renters qualify, and they can actually sign up for that free of charge. There's no termination fee on that product. If they want to leave, they can leave, and there's no problem or changes to their bill. On our retail energy side, we actually have your members can sign up as well. And those members will get predictable costs, fixed rates to lower their costs. So now they're going to be getting community solar as a discount and then getting a consistent fixed cost on their energy bill. So now those are 2 things that are helping them. Again, there's no contract. I really applaud our CEO for what he's doing, because he's saying, look, we're not here to lock people in. What we're going to do is we're going to deliver value. We're going to give them a fixed price, fixed cost. We're going to help them save for 20 years. And if they want to leave, they can leave, and there's no impact. So for all of my pastors and my leaders on the call tonight, the one thing I want to be very clear is that there is nothing you have to worry about from Think Energy when it comes to your members being hurt. Our goal is to deliver the best service. And if at any point any member is not satisfied with that service, they can leave Think Energy, and we're here to support that. But what I'll tell you is that when you're saving somebody for on their energy costs for 20 years, they want to be a part of that. They want to grow with that. And now we're going to talk about the serve part of the Save and Serve program. Again, I want to share with you, this is the largest savings for Americans we've ever seen in 30 years, okay? And so what does that look like for the organization? I'm going to keep this really simple, and I'm showing you this because the box is highlighted in white is really important. So every one of your members that actually join under your church, because we do recommend that your church or your organization sign up as what we call an energy agent. And what happens is when your church signs up, when a member joins on electricity, the second product I talked about, the organization will get $20. On community solar, the organization will get $60 to $120. And the 60 to 120 just depends on the state and market that you're in, okay? So let's see what that looks like. These are one-time payments that are paid. We'll talk about residual in a moment, but let's talk about right now for organizations that are in our community solar and electricity markets and what this means for them. An organization, a church, an organization, nonprofit that has 100 members. Those 100 members join under the church's community energy program. I call it the community energy program because growing up in the church, I do believe different ministries and organizations within the church could have a focus. And what I encourage pastors and organizations to do is for this program treated the same way. Have somebody serve over it, allow them to be the point person, allow them to have the questions and the answers to the questions, allow them to do the signups. But for that community, and then allocate what those funds are going to be for. If it's something new for the church, if it's for giving, if it's for helping in the community, if it's for different things, allocate those, because here's what happens. 100 members that sign up, and I'm using $100. You see me use $100. I'm using the middle. So if you have a community solar customer, that's $80, and an electricity customer, that's $100 that the organization will receive. So 100 members at $100 each would be $10,000 to the organization. So that would be a $10,000 one time to the organization. when it comes to the upfront payment. Then if you had 100 members and those members, just like we all go out and we talk to our family members, if the church is selling tickets to a program, we would go out and would tell our family members, why my church has a program called the Community Energy Program, and you can actually save. It's a state program where you can actually save on your energy bill for the next 20 years. And so the members are going to help people they know. And then by helping the people in their families, it's going to benefit the church, the organization. So 100 members that go help 3 people, they would bring in $30,000 to the organization. Now, one of the things that I did in a previous in one of my other churches, we actually ended up introducing it to or to the community around the church, because we had a lot of people that were low to moderate income. And so right now there's a church out in Chicago I'm working with, and we're figuring out how do we do this to go out and actually help the people that the church is supporting with meals. And they do Thanksgiving for adoptive family in Baltimore. We have a church that actually adopts families for the holidays. Well, all the families that are supported just during the holidays and things of that nature can now be supported all year long, because we can put them on community solar, and they're going to save, an additional savings on their energy bill, even if they're getting energy assistance, which I really love, because people ask me all the time, well, Julius, does this affect what I already have or what I'm getting if I'm getting some type of assistance? So 100 members that help 3 people, that's 300 people in the church's program, that's $30,000. And then if 100 members help 5 people, that's 500 people in the program, and that's $50,000 to the organization. Now this is not a one-time thing. Remember, this program, when the church signs up, when the church or the organization signs up, this is an ongoing program. This is an ongoing help to the people in the congregation, in the membership, and the people around it. So what happens is this becomes this ongoing income to the church, to the nonprofit, that now what we're talking about is educating people, right? Because it's free to sign up. It's free. There's no contract for people to be locked in. So now what we're talking about is helping, having a point person for the program. And I do recommend, maybe once a month, talking about sharing back with the organization. Here's what we did, because in our company, you can pull a report of all of the customers that have signed up. And you can also share that, hey, we've signed up over 300 customers in our community energy program. And this is what's really exciting, because we have all the tools. There's nothing the organization needs to do. Everything is there day one. And as soon as the first member joins, it kicks off the first check to the organization, which is even better. And so as I get ready to close, many of you are like, well, Julius, well, how much does this cost for the organization to be a part of this? Well, it's $59 for the year. There's no monthly cost. After the first year, it's $149. But that $59 is everything that the organization needs. It is the website for the customers to sign up. It will have the organization's name on it. We can sign up with the organization's EIN number. Also, it gives a back office for the organization to have. And then there is a certification that takes about 15 minutes that we will help facilitate for the organization. Now, as far as running the program, one of the things that we've done is put together a way to run the program, and that's simple. Having somebody to be the point person, the flyer, maybe some flyers. We have all the flyers already done. We can put the organization's name and website on there. And then a frequently asked questions that really has helped a lot to help facilitate the church to roll out the program. And so I know we have some folks on tonight that have rolled out the program and had some different sign up Sundays. And I'm going to have someone come on and just share a little bit of that and what that's like. But ultimately, my goal is this program is really about helping organizations be able to know that they're making impact inside their walls and outside their walls. So, once your organization signs up, we have a packet, which is how to launch your program. It is not complex at all. We want to educate people. We want to let them know the power of this program, and then we want to show them how to move forward. And so thank you so much for joining. I'm going to open up for questions, but I would like for someone to come on and share a little bit about the rollout of one of their churches. And I know she's on. I didn't tell her I was going to have her do this, but let me stop sharing. But I'd love for her to come on. And I'm also, I see have Larry on too, because Larry supported that rollout as well. I'd like to have Bonnie Burrell and Larry Weil come on and share a little bit about the rollout of the church in New Jersey, Reverend Wilson's church. And did I see Judge Sekou on as well? Did I see Judge Sekou on as well? I think I did. I'd love for you guys to, I would love for you to just share just in about a minute or so. Judge Sekou, you actually introduced this to your pastor, and you did the rollout, and then you brought your whole team together like, hey, we're going to support this church. And so I'd love for you, Judge, to come on, Larry and Bonnie, because you all supported this, the rollout of Pastor Wilson's church. Just a few words on the power of the program and what it's meant, and just kind of your vision. So Judge, can you share a little bit about that? And you took it, you're a judge, and you took it to your church. So that's a interesting one right there. So can you share a little bit? I think you're muted. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
Welcome everybody. Happy Memorial Day. I know you guys taking out your time to be here, but this is something special. We are still here as a group, as a family, bringing something to you. Everybody thinks we're giving. We're actually asking something, so we have to be very careful with our parishioners. So what we did was basically the program has been spelled out for you by Mr. Weems, and he's done this perfectly. That allows our less having chicken dinners, or our less having a fundraiser for the building fund, or our children's ministry. This is something that you can already have in place, and the organization as it stands can use the money as it feels fit. As we said, we could use it for those in the community who may 1 month not have their rent bill, may not even be able to pay a bill at all. And these are what I think is already something that is done at St. Matthew's, but now they don't have to worry about asking people to donate into this fund. And this is one of the ways that that our church is using it. And I talked to Bishop Jackson about expanding that among the AMEs, so that it is something that we do as a unit, as a service for our communities and the communities that surround us, not just your church, but organizations that surround you.
Thank you so much, Judge Sekou. Larry, I see you, and I know you went over to New Jersey to hang out a little bit too. So Larry supported the rollout, and Larry is an incredible entrepreneur as well. But Larry, tell me about this. You're heavily involved in your church as well. So tell me a little bit about what this program has meant, and as you've seen it rolled out.
Can you hear me, Julius?
I can, loud and clear.
Morning, my microphone wasn't working, but okay. Hello, everybody, and again, happy Memorial Day, and happy to be on here. So, in the last, I would say 3.5 months, I have helped us sign up a nonprofit that catered to low to moderate renters in various houses in New Jersey, as well as St. Matthew's Church. And I will tell you that it's really just about, we don't sell anything or anybody. This is about educating people. The hardest part about this was, people don't look at their electricity bills, okay? They just unconsciously use it, and they habitually pay it. So what I did with the permission of Pastor Wilson, as well as Turquoise and Bonnie, is we all went out there and we had a table. We made sure that everybody, the low-hanging fruit, so to speak, which was about 150 parishioners, and we really just have, it's just really the tip of the iceberg. We told everybody to bring their bills. We were there before the service and after the service, and it was as long as we needed to be. And basically, we educated people on the aspects of saving money and helping the church. And I'm going to do this I'm summarizing everything, and I'm making a long story incredibly short. But it was really about educating a lot of the parishioners. And before every service, Pastor Wilson will be up there